One of the things that made it much easier to deal with this in a classroom situation was the dignity with which the Watergate Committee carried out its work. And Ned Farquhar mentioned that to me, and it was, that was that was a dignified proceeding.
Was.
Frank Church was the very essence of good sense in the whole thing. You had a sense that grown-ups were in charge of the operation, and that made it a lot easier as a faculty member to talk about this with students. There wasn't all this McCarthyism, and
Right.
uh, yeah, that in retrospect, that was really the healing, the saving grace of the whole thing, really, that committee and Sam Irwin, et cetera, that they conducted themselves with such a dignity. They had a sense of their moment in history.
Hmm.
When you looked at the impeachment hearing with Trump, half the people in the room, at least, had no place of their sense in history.
One of the things that John Dean said to me too, that it was very much applies to the Saturday Night Massacre, is that he said at that point, the charge of obstruction of justice, nobody really knew. We had to look it up in the law books to sort of figure
Mhm.
out what
Yes.
it was.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Right.
that,
Mhm.
it really became a thing in
Yes. Yeah.
Watergate
Right. Right.
and
Absolutely.
certainly
Yeah.
with the Saturday Night Massacre.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It must have been such, the unfortunate thing is at this point, we all kind of roll our eyes. It's like we're still horrified, but no longer surprised by the stuff that
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
learning and that is said. But then there was, right?
hmm
The sense of like the outrage and
Oh,
amazement.
yeah. Yeah.
You just
Outrage on the streets, outrage and every, and Archibald Cox, God bless him. He might well have saved the country for a while there. I mean, that I think things would have absolutely fallen apart had that happened. People would have taken to the streets. I mean, there were plenty of people. There were plenty of people practiced in taking to the streets from the Vietnam War. I mean, it wasn't, yeah, and from the King, from the Civil Rights
yes,
movement. So I think those people actually might have saved at
that's
least the
really
dignity of the
interesting.
country, if not the order of the country. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting as I was reading there began with that sense of not of trying to find
Right.
to prove somehow that they weren't out to get him. They were more out to prove that he couldn't have known. This isn't,
Yes.
there's no
Yes.
way
Yeah.
he could have known
Right.
this. Yeah, there was an openness and a respect between Baker and
Yes.
Irwin
And
that,
Baker. I should have added Baker too. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
actually read some of the congressional
Yeah.
records
Oh
to
yeah. No, he
quote him.
conducted himself with great dignity, and the fact that he was Dirkson's son-in-law, correct?
Ah, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Made a big difference too, I think.